She's never been far away from controversial headlines since she started dating Prince Harry. So today we're asking if Meghan Markle will ever be truly accepted by the British public. Outspoken, funny and feisty comedian Judi Love believes that she won't, and she's here to tell us why. Welcome, Judi. And I tell you what, hold on to those nails because Stacey's going to rip them off.
I know. They're absolutely gorgeous, aren't they?
They are good.
Coming on with you fabulous ladies. You're all fabulous.
So, Meghan Markle, why do you feel that she'll never be accepted?
I mean, you know, look at all the controversy that's happened since they've just announced that they were getting engaged, much less since they've been married. You know, there's been hints about, you know, what's the baby's name going to be? Like, people cannot take on that she's a mixed race or dual heritage woman that is now going into the roles. It's not the first.
What is the kind of language that you notice straight away that perhaps other people wouldn't notice?
Well, it's the way they'll say things like, oh, you know, is it going to reflect her culture? You know, she's American. She's American. So why don't you say, is it, you know, is it going to be like a big, flamboyant American do? When you're saying the word culture, it's a really kind of polite, indirect way of saying it's going to be black.
But I don't feel that because I come from the Asian culture. I'm British Asian. But if people refer to my culture, I think it's actually a bit of a sign of respect because they recognise. Hold on, let me just finish. Because they recognise that actually there is a heritage to me that is different to what they're probably used to. So. If the people are sort of damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. So why is that different?
I agree with Judi, and it's something that when you've grown up with certain phrases being used time and time again, you know what they mean. Now, the other fact behind this is that Rosie Nixon, the editor of Hello, said for the first time they have had to employ a record number of people and do a lot of hard work to get rid of the negative comments.
Definitely.
And subsequently the royals have. And we're just talking purely outright racist stuff, on and on and on. But legally you can't say that in a newspaper. So there are phrases that you might not hear that we've heard year upon year upon year, and we know it's in the old days when you could just come out and say it. I mean, when I was in Australia, when I was the first black person on television, people could just use the N-word and you could confront it. But now it's like, you know, of dusty skin,
it's more
heritage.
And was that up front with you, Tricia?
Sorry?
Was that up front with you?
Yes, I had KKK sprayed on my front door.
Wow.
Really?
And this is something, as well, it's sometimes hard to explain in words, but as an ethnic minority, I'm not speaking for everybody, but myself, you've been in a predicament where you've just felt it. You've felt the uncomfortableness. And now, you know, we've got someone who's saying that they've struggled with having their baby and having been so much out in the media, and still they're being attacked. We're talking about mental health, and she's still being attacked. People's mocking her for, you know, how she's kind of segregated herself, but she's feels segregated because it's almost feel like she's been pushed out. But, you know, I talk about Meghan in my set.
Isn't that just what women in the media face? Isn't it not because Meghan Markle is American or because she's mixed race, but more to do with the fact that actually that's what we deal with in the media.
You can count on one hand the amount of times this year we've spoken about Kate, but I couldn't count. I've lost count of the amount of times there's been a headline about.
Exactly.
I mean, even touching her bump. I remember for ages thinking, why has anyone got a problem with this woman holding her baby that she's growing inside her?
And Judi, you think the root of this is inherently racist?
I think yes. I think there is a historical, you know, undertone racism that has come through it, and unfortunately people don't want to say that, and I think I have the right to say that because I have been in that situation. I've felt the situation. So when I watch something that's uncomfortable, even if it's another group or community that's being segregated and being abused, we feel that uncomfortableness. And how I know is because there has been other people who are not from the black community, Asian community, who have actually said, no, actually this is quite uncomfortable to watch how people are just constantly going on about Meghan. Look at the issue about her having a baby. You know, what's the baby's name going to be? Is it going to be quite cultural? What does that mean?
So what have you experienced then that makes you relate to that? Because you're obviously picking up cues, to be honest, that I wouldn't. You know, so what...
I mean, there's things like, you know, going to shows and maybe being the only black person there and not being spoken to. And then maybe being assumed that you're one of the cleaners or, you know, that you work there, and it's not until they see you get on stage, you're like, oh, my gosh, sorry, I didn't know. Why didn't you just ask? Or, you know, making references to your country. Well, where are you from? I'm from East London, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's where. Yeah, but where your, you know, your people from? And we're in a bush somewhere.
Do you think that that's... And excuse me if I'm being ignorant. Do you think that that's because people just want to say the right thing and are not sure how nowadays?
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
There are lots of people...
I think people are... They're not sure. Sometimes I don't know if I'm allowed to say black because we've got so PC, okay? But I'll still call you black, white. I'll say what I've got to say. But I think that we're in a stage where people are so uncomfortable, they don't know what to say. So it's for us to have this conversation so someone can say, oh, you're black, but are you Caribbean? Are you African? Do you know there's a lot of people that doesn't even realise that not all black people are Jamaican
so true.
or African.
All the,
mix up. We're mixed up.
Right.
Yeah.
There's thing. People assume that all West Indians are the same. Now you're Jamaican. Your background's from Jamaica. Mine is from Dominica.
Right.
And we hear it. We have different phraseologies and what have you. And then there are people from all different parts of Africa. So when people talk about black people think, that's like saying European people think, or you know, all Asian people.
And the thing is as well, like I went on holiday this year with my children, and I was the only black person there. Yeah, I went all inclusive. I thought I'm gonna, you know, hold my tough feet up and relax, right? And I was there, and there was a lady who was a white lady, and she was from Yorkshire, and she actually spoke to me and said she'd realised where she lives is predominantly it's all white. She feels like her children has never seen an ethnic minority, and she sat me down, and we had such a heart-to-heart conversation. Like, I mean, we was in tears because she actually even apologised and said, you know, I said there's nothing to apologise, but she was saying she wondered if this contributes to why there's racism, why there's segregation, and she was asking me, she was saying to me, look, as a black lady born here from the West Indies, what can I do so that my children will grow with the knowledge of others and not go to London and feel like, oh my gosh, I've never seen a black
Judi,
person.
well, listen, I'm sorry we are out of time, but we have to continue this conversation.
Yes.
Thanks so much for bringing it to us. Thank you.